What is up, everyone? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 17 Baek Battles. We have Tony as our first opponent from Spain with a 1529 rating, bringing the team of Tapu, Bulu, Arcanine, Garchomp, Gigalith, Muck, and Celesteela. Very interesting to see a Tapu Bulu on a Garchomp team, since Garchomp's main damage output is by going for Earthquake. So how is this gonna go? Gigalith's an annoying Pokemon to deal with, of course, because of the weather. The fact it can break my Pelipper's Focus Sash is kind of annoying, but I do like... Okay, so Wailord is probably out of the question here. I don't really like Wailord against my opponent's team. I don't think I'm going to be setting up Talon because Pelipper is not exactly in the greatest position to lead. Maybe... I do expect Arcanine to lead. Pikachu might be okay. I kind of like Kartana really well in this matchup. I think I'll lead Mimikyu, Tapu, Koko, which I don't have Volt Switch. If I had Volt Switch on this team, that'd be absolutely grand. Yeah, with Pelipper, Kartana in the back. I really wish I had Volt Switch on the Tapu Koko, and that's kind of why I picked it as a lead. Well, if it had Volt Switch, guaranteed, but yeah, it's going to be really hard to play without Volt Switch. I really do love Volt Switch. Just being able to control the weather, and Tapu Koko is a great user to control weather, terrain, things like that. Maybe even get a Trick Room on there while you're trying to set up Trick Room. We're going to see the Gigalith Garchomp lead, and not what I was expecting, but I'll gladly take that as Mimikyu and Tapu Koko will lead the field. Right here, Gigalith is a Pokemon I could try to get rid of right away. I don't know what the Garchomp wants to do. I don't even know if it's Scarf Garchomp. That's also a potential, because my opponent's team is really, really slow. We could see something like an Earthquake and a Wide Guard here. Earthquake Protect, switch on Celesteela, Earthquake. It's very questionable, but I do think you would try to save Gigalith and try to pick up some knockouts with the Garchomp, especially if you're Scarf. So, gonna fire off the Twinkle Tackle here. I don't really need my Z-move for this game, I think. I mean, yes, it does help because Gigalith can live Leaf Blade from Kartana 100%. But I feel like I could get chip damage off later in the game. Gonna protect my Tapu Koko. Very safe play here, as Gigalith is gonna fire off that Wide Guard. So we're in a fantastic position, especially if the Garchomp goes for the Earthquake. We do see the Earthquake. We're not gonna confirm its item, but I am guessing it's holding that Choice Scarf item. And Gigalith used Wide Guard, which basically means it can't use Protect, or basically it only has a 30% chance to use Protect in the following few turns. So, well, next turn. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but here we're going to get the Twinkle Tackle off. I don't know if this is Sandvale Garchomp, but I know that Z-moves can never miss. Here comes the Twinkle Tackle. Let's go, Mimikyu. Let's go. Got this fresh Mimikyu plush. I actually got two of them, because these Mimikyu plushies are clean. Like, legit. These are so great. Like, legit. And they feel so nice as well. Okay, so Garchomp does go down to the Twinkle Tackle. Mimikyu putting in the finest of work here, as we are going to take some sand damage, but we already traded the Z move and the Disguise on Mimikyu for that Garchomp. And having the lead in Pokemon is very important when playing these weather games, because the fact that you have one less Pokemon that you can switch in. So Tapu Bulu is going to come out, no surprise there. Looks like Kartana is going to be the very safe switch in for me. But the question is, what do I want to save? Do I want to save my Mimikyu? Because Mimikyu could do pretty well here. I'm guessing that the Arcanine will be in the back. So a good play for my opponent would be to switch out the Gigalith into that Arcanine here. I definitely do think Arcanine would be in the back. So Mimikyu's role isn't as great. I think I just want to Shadow Claw the Gigalith, because it will put into Leaf Blade range for my Kartana. And just switch directly out into Kartana. It can abuse the grassy terrain. Actually, no. Maybe I should just play rep the Tapu Bulu, actually, because the fact that the terrains allow me to knock out the Gigalith for free. So maybe this wasn't the best play, but I do get chip damage on the Arcanine if it decides to switch in. No switch. We're going to get that Shadow Claw into the Gigalith, which puts in Leaf Blade range. Wood Hammer is going to come out and does target down the Kartana. So quad resisted, and Kartana's base high physical defense coming in. Stealth Rocks. That's not something I expected, but okay. So Stealth Rocks is not a move you usually see in VGC, and the main reason is they're not exactly as helpful. Yes, there's a lot of switching, but usually Stealth Rocks is more helpful in probably a 6v6 to be honest, when you're doing a lot of switching and pressures. Stealth Rocks can do the same thing obviously, but there's a lot less switching in doubles, unless it's a really defensive play. So Arcanine should be coming out for the Gigalith side, I think, and the Tapu Bulu will probably protect. Do I just want to double up into the Tapu Bulu anyway? Because I kind of want to double up the Tapu Bulu because Tapu Bulu knocks out my Mimikyu here. I think I'll just double attack the Tapu Bulu. It's probably obvious that's going to protect. Maybe I should just Swords Dance with Mimikyu. Yeah, I like that. Swords Dance with Mimikyu. Get a Smart Strike off into Tapu Bulu. This way, if it protects, I do get a Swords Dance up. And if it doesn't, I get damage off. I'm pretty sure Arcanine will switch in for the Gigalith. Or maybe my opponent doesn't have Arcanine. Maybe my opponent doesn't have Arcanine because there's no switching. Smart Strike going to connect with the Tapu Bulu. Do some good damage. Here's the Swords Dance. So we're now at +2 with Mimikyu. Let's see what my opponent went for. Superpower? Okay, Superpower is going to come out into the Kartana that will probably pick up the knockout, yes. But I am completely fine with that trade. Let's see what the Gigalith is going to go for. Heavy Slam probably might actually hurt quite a bit. It's just going to be the Rock Slide, okay. If it was Heavy Slam, that would be pretty bad, but... Ooh, that does a lot of damage. But still not too bad of a situation here. The Tapu Bulu is really weakened, and the Gigalith is in range for my Scald from Pelipper, so I think I can just go into Pelipper. Click Scald. My opponent doesn't have a switch in, because my opponent really can't take a Scald at all. Especially if it's not Tapu Koko. If it's that... Let's see, if it's the Celesteal in the back, I have Tapu Koko. And I also get the Scald damage, which should put in Shadow Claw range, hopefully. So we get that Drizzle up, which means we have Rain, and now our Thunder is 100% accurate. Let's just go for that Shadow Claw into the Tapu Bulu. And what's nice is I can at least get a bit of grassy terrain recovery with Mimikyu. It really shouldn't matter too much, but, you know, never really hurts. Maybe you can limit Shadow Sneak from the Muck if it's in the back. Oh, we don't have Scald, we have Hydro Pump. Well, we're going to hit the Hydro Pump, right? We're going to hit the Hydro Pump, right? It sucks when you put yourself in a position where you have an 80% chance to actually like get a KO. Hydro Pump will probably do a lot of damage though. It definitely will put the Celesteela in the Shadow Claw range. The Muck, however, will be able to heal up. Which, Muck is still a very scary Pokemon to deal with. Tapu Bulu going to go for the Protect. So, please, Pelipper, please, for the love of, hit this Hydro Pump. Just hit the Hydro Pump. Okay, good, good. I guess I could have Wide Guard if I really want to be safe, but the Gigalith could have just went for a Heavy Slam or Stone Edge. And really, the Gigalith was most likely going to switch out there. So, the best play was the Hydro Pump no matter what, because if my opponent did switch out, I at least got a chance to get some really good damage off. But, you know, we are taking risk here. Let's see what my opponent has in the back. Tapu Bulu is not really much of a threat. It is going to be that Muck. Ooh, Shadow Sneak is going to be very threatening. The Tapu Bulu is at -1, so I'm not exactly too worried about it. Muck could protect here, but I don't really see any merits of getting a protect off. Maybe a Hammer Arm? But Tapu Bulu just protected, so it's definitely in range to get knocked out, and that's one less attack I have to worry about. So I feel like getting rid of the Tapu Bulu, even though it's not much of a threat, is the best case scenario here. I'll go for the Play Rough into that Muck, as well as a Hurricane, because it can never miss into the Tapu Bulu. So let's see what my opponent will do. There is Shadow Sneak on the Muck. My opponent does have a Glimmer of Hope. No Shadow Sneak coming out Play Rough. It is at +2, going to do a massive amount of damage, as well as this Hurricane is going to fire off into that Tapu Bulu, which is going to do a solid amount, which picks up the knockout onto the Tapu Bulu. And there was no Berry from the Muck, if I remember correctly. So, Poison Jab going to fire off into that Mimikyu. Was this the last turn of Grassy Terrain, or is that the next turn? No, Grassy Terrain's still up for one more turn. Is it Black Sludge? Yes, it is Black Sludge. Makes complete sense. You get 1/8 of your quick recovery with that Grassy Terrain on the field. But now I can bring in my Tapu Koko. We have Rain up. We can go for Thunder in the Rain. And that should be able to pick up the knockout in Electric Terrain with the Life Orb. And if not, of course, we have Hurricane. Muck doesn't have a priority move that can knock me out, even if it's a crit. Even if it was banded. Even if it was banded adaptability, Shadow Sneaker, even though Muck isn't a ghost type, it would still not be able to knock us out. So go for the Thunder, go for the Hurricane, and we should just win the game. So nice. Not sure what I have to say. I mean, my opponent did have Stealth Rocks, but you can't just judge your opponent based on having Stealth Rocks. I have used them in VGC at a decently serious level, so you know, it wasn't that bad. I mean, yes, it does break sashes on Pelipper, I guess, if the Pelipper's forced to switch out, which is not bad. However, you just really don't need Stealth Rocks. There aren't really many flying types, especially in this generation. Very few fire types, the only one really being Arcanine. The only bug types like a Rockwanid we see. It's just not a move you usually see in VGC, and especially in this format, I really don't see any merits to using Stealth Rocks. Especially since Gigalith, I mean, it was Wide Guard, Stealth Rocks. I mean, Gigalith has not the best move pool, but it's got like Earthquake, it's got like Heavy Slam, it's got decent moves that you can use on it. So we got Junior with the Porygon 2, Rockwanid, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, Hariyama, and Kartana. Looks like a very serious team here. Pretty standard, except we got the Hariyama on the team. This team really struggles with Trick Room. Kinda wish we had Brian. Okay. I think the play here is leading Pikachu Mimikyu. That seems pretty solid in my opinion. Pelipper just does really well against my opponent's team. And Kartana or Tapu Koko. They're both pretty good because Kartana is able to threaten a lot of damage. Tapu Koko is able to get a knockout onto the Rockwanid, but my opponent's Kartana could be such a threat. And I'm probably going to use my Z move on Mimikyu, so there's no point in really bringing Kartana in my opinion. I think it's better just to bring Koko for that guarantee outspeed that Kartana, which definitely could be a lead option for my opponent. I could definitely see something like Kartana, Tapu Koko lead. We'll see how this goes though. This is going to be a very... Oh, Tapu Koko Kartana is probably my opponent's lead. That would be really bad. Pikachu Mimikyu here. No, it's Hariyama Porygon 2. Excellent. So I doubt Hariyama should be going for Fake Out. Yeah, you don't Fake Out, especially when Pikachu has Fake Out. I think a very safe play is just to go for the Fake Out into the Hariyama, as well as a taunt into Porygon 2. Porygon 2, it should have got attack boost if I remember correctly. Yes, so unless it has return, it can't threaten the knockout. I can go for the taunt, Fake Out into Hariyama, as well as a taunt in Porygon 2. Yes, I could go for the Twinkle Tackle and try it, or play rough into the Hariyama, but I don't feel like that's necessary. Prevent this trigger. Wow, that did a lot of damage with that critical hit. Here's the taunt though into the Porygon 2, which means you cannot set up your Trick Room. Ice Beam is going to come out, and yeah, my opponent didn't go for Fake Out. Smart play. Ice Beam going to come out, and no freeze, which is very fortunate. And do I want to save Pikachu? I really don't need to, but I feel like it might be the best play just to go for the Thunder into Porygon 2 and weaken it. As well as the Swords Dance with Mimikyu here, since my opponent's not really threatening by Mimikyu. I'm going to try to set up the Swords Dance, get some momentum going, and let's see what my opponent's going to go for. Thunder. Unfortunately, misses Porygon 2. That's a pretty big miss, not going to lie, but what can you do? The Pikachu is going to go down this turn. And the Hariyama just going to go for knockoff, but we do have the Z move, so we're not really worried about Mimikyu. Let's see. Okay, Tapu Koko comes in. I can just Thunder the Porygon 2 and go for a Play Rough, I think, into the Hariyama. The problem is I really want to knock out this Porygon 2. Maybe I hope that Dazzling Gleam is enough to knock out the Hariyama and go for the Twinkle Tackle, because I don't want Kartana getting a free switch in, because Kartana would threaten my Mimikyu, and then I wouldn't have a way to knock out the Porygon 2, because it just outspeeds and goes for Smart Strike. Yeah, I'll just go for Twinkle Tackle and Dazzling Gleam. I think this is the best play. Even if Hariyama goes for Wide Guard, it's not too bad of a situation. Hariyama shouldn't be able to threaten knockout. Usually they carry Fake Out, Close Combat, Knockoff, Filler. And Filler might be Heavy Slam, but that's not a big deal if it is. Oh, that's Assault Vest Hariyama. Which I actually should have recognized because the fact we didn't see something like a... Well, we didn't see anything like... What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Oh yeah, we didn't see like a Flame Orb. So, Twinkle Tackle is going to activate, which should be able to maybe knock out the Porygon 2. I'm actually hoping Porygon 2 lives. This is probably a very specially defensive Porygon 2. Yeah, it does pick up the knockout. I would have actually liked Porygon 2 to live a little bit, so I could just go for a Dazzling Gleam the following turn, and we are going to see the Heavy Slam. It will target down the Mimikyu, and Mimikyu unfortunately goes down. So, Mimikyu unfortunately goes down. However, I can bring out my Pelipper. But this is still going to be a pretty tough end game. We'll see what my opponent has in the back here. Pelipper is going to come out as we're going to see the Kartana as anticipated. Ooh, the Kartana makes this game pretty hard. My foot is like asleep right now. Okay. I don't think I have a play here. If it's Assault Vest Kartana, that's really, really annoying. I think I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam Hurricane. I don't think I have a choice here. I could try Step Tailwind if the Kartana tries to protect to get his free switch out, but I don't think you protect here. Yeah, we're not going to see a protect. Oh, the Hariyama actually lives. That's not good at all. That's not good at all. I was not expecting the Hariyama to live. The Leaf Blade going to come out into the Pelipper. Gets a critical hit. I don't think the critical hit matters, to be honest. Hurricane will come out, and we'll see what my opponent goes for with Hariyama. Shouldn't be able to knock out my Koko, but it'll probably just revenge KO my Pelipper knockoff into the Pelipper. And now it comes down to my opponent's last Pokemon. What's it going to be? Is it a Rockrunnid or is it... It's a Rockrunnid, okay. Ooh, boy. What the? Electric Seed. So it's not Z-Move or Rockrunnid. Alright, we have three turns of electric terrain. So the problem is I'm expecting a Rockrunnid to protect here, or I could go for Wide Guard. I kind of just want to protect the Scout because I feel like that is my opponent's best play. If you go for Sub, I'll congratulate you because that'd be a godsend play. But Hariyama doesn't have Feint. We already saw Fake Out, Knockoff, and Heavy Slam. So Close Combat, you would have to assume it's the last move. Liquidation going to go into the Tapu Koko as well as a Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam shouldn't be able to knock out Tapu Koko even after a Life Orb recall. So I'm going to go for the Thunder into Rockrunnid. I'm really, really hoping that the Rockrunnid doesn't protect here. If it does, I have to go for Discharge and hope either it crits. Okay, we're not going to see Protect or Full Power. But I don't think Discharge knocks out a Rockrunnid because a Rockrunnid has very high special defense. So a Rockrunnid is going to go down. It's actually base 132 special defense. That's insane. Now, let's see. Hariyama, can we live this Heavy Slam? I mean, Tapu Koko, I'm not sure if you're that heavy, but can you live it? Godsend. And you don't have Feint, Hariyama, and you shouldn't have priority that can actually hit me in this case. Go for that accurate Thunder. Just go for the accurate Thunder. Don't miss. Exactly. So Thunder is going to come out. Perfect accuracy in the rain, and Hariyama will go down, and we will be taking a strong 2-0. Let's try not to make it like the last episode, as Tapu Koko actually hangs on with 1 HP there. Very nice. But we will take that nice, strong victory. I feel like in the last episode, we just faced very tough matchups overall. We don't do well against Tapu Lele Trick Room. We don't do well against Weather Resetters. I think we faced, what, 2 Ninetales? We also don't really do well against Drifblim. We don't do well against Manabus. There's a lot of things that this team just doesn't do well anymore, since, of course, the meta has changed over time. But it's been a really fun team to play. I don't remember how many episodes we have with it, though. I actually forgot. I think we have one more after this, and then we can finally go back to one of my original teams, which I do have built in the process. I will be using some... I guess it's not really as cool, but you know, I'm putting a twist to some unique mons. So we got, what is that, Michael with a K, or Mikkel, or I don't know how you pronounce that. What's it with that Skarmory though? This man rocking out with the Skarmory. Okay, what do I do? And of course you have a freaking Galef. How am I supposed to beat this? You're gonna just set up speed control and win. Ah, okay. Pikachu, Mimikyu is very solid against my opponent's team. Pelipper. I think I'm on top of Coco. I really like Kartana in the match, I'm not gonna lie. Just because it hits the Feeny and the Gigalith, which are the strongest hitters on my opponent's team. But I think Tapu Koko with that electric terrain just does a lot more. Also, the fact that Arcanine could be somewhat worrisome. So, Tapu Koko's better. Also, Tapu Koko can take Shadow Ball more. And also, prevent that with the electric terrain, prevent any Spore shenanigans that Smeargle wants to do. I wonder what kind of team this is. I'm hoping it's not like some kind of weird like Spikes Instruct setup or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool if you could do that in singles, but unfortunately you can't. This is still going to be an interesting game. I don't know what Skarmory really gets as a move pool. So this is going to be very interesting. I know it gets like Taunt. I know it's a Steel type. It looks like we're just going to see Drifblim and Tapu Fini against my Pikachu Mimikyu, and I kind of just want to focus on getting a knockout here. So Electric Surge activates on the battlefield as well as the Misty Seed from the Drifblim. Do I want to go for the Thunder into Tapu Fini, because Thunder would be able to knock it out. Problem is we're without Rain here. I mean, let me just check Pikachu's stats because I want to check how much Light Ball. 112, that's what? 224 special attack. That should be able to knock out Fini, but do I want to risk it? And with the Light Ball, let's go for the Thunder, and I don't want Mimikyu getting Will-O-Wisp or anything. I think I'll go into my Tapu Koko though, just to boost the Thunder just in case, but I don't know what kind of setup this is. I don't know if it's like, Self-Swagger, which I have used in the past with Drifblim, Tapu Fini. But my opponent doesn't have anything that could really abuse that. I guess maybe Skarmory is levitating, well, flying, so it can't be that. Arcanine, I guess? I don't know. Let's bring out the electric terrain, and I am going to rely on hitting a 70% accurate Thunder. So, let's go. Shadow Ball. Ooh, into the Pikachu. Okay, I was just about to say Pikachu didn't live that. What's wrong? We do hit the Thunder, though. Hey! And down goes the Tapu Fini. This is the electric terrain gone. Gone. I'm really surprised that we haven't seen a... I'm just really surprised we haven't actually seen the Drifblim go for a Tailwind, but I guess Shadow Ball's fine. Gigalith's gonna come out. Gigalith's kind of annoying, but not the worst case scenario here. I think I'll just go for a Grass Knot Discharge. My opponent could go for Tailwind if my opponent really wants to. I am kind of expecting a Shadow Ball. Oh, what? That's probably from my side. That's actually really stupid. And my internet is working because my computer still says I can find a connection. That's stupid. I just lost points for nothing and I get a loss automatically. That's stupid. I don't even know what's wrong. Yeah, I'm back to Festival Plaza. I guess we'll be back with the next game. Come on. Alright, so we are back, and I think I know the reason why. Like, it just randomly DC'd. Okay, so connection overall has been pretty unsteady lately, and if you don't know, the east coast of the United States has been hit by a very strong blizzard. And I'm kind of recording at kind of like the aftermatch, like when the blizzard's kind of like over. So that's probably the reason why. I also have been having trouble connecting with the global link as well, so probably the main reason is probably the blizzard and like all the snow. It'll probably get better once they clear up, but unfortunately, you know, we're probably going to have to deal with it. Disconnection, not much I can do about it. We're going to find PPL Angel from Peru. Was that supposed to be people or PPL or I don't know. We got, I feel like I faced this person before. I don't know why. We got a Ninetales, a Porygon 2, Kartana, Arcanine. Did we face it? Actually, we might have faced this. Or did I face this alone? No, I'm pretty sure I faced this. Oh, wait, was this the person? Like when I went 0-2 with this team when I was testing before the last video? Oh, that might have been the reason why. Okay. So, unfortunately, we have a very bad matchup. I think starting off here, it's not Scarf Garchomp, at least I can confirm that, because there's no flying resist unless you decide to have it for some reason. Let's go Pikachu, Mimikyu as the lead. I think Kartana and Pelipper in the back. I want weather control. And I think I need Kartana in this matchup. So yeah, it's pretty bad outside. Well, it wasn't that bad in New York. I think we got less snow than anticipated. Shoveling was alright. Shoveling was alright. By the way, again, if you don't love the snow, I mean, it was a snow day. Thanks, Vulpix. Set up that hail. It really was like hail outside today, though. I was like outside, and the hail, it literally felt like hail. It was more like freezing rain, but that's still hail in my opinion. Okay, so we got Arcanine and Porygon 2 as the lead here. Does my opponent have anything benefiting from setting up Trick Room? Oh, jeez, come on. Okay. Alright, so we have an Arcanine Porygon 2 lead. I don't know how I want to respond to this. We don't exactly have the best counters. I think go for the Fake Out into Arcanine. And Taunt P2 is safe, but the P2 could just go for an Ice Beam, and that's kind of what I'm anticipating. I'm going to set up Swords Dance. Oh man, I'm setting up Swords Dance. I don't think this Porygon 2 is going to go for Trick Room. Fake Out. We set up Swords Dance. Let's see. If it does set up Swords Dance, it's not the end of the world also. The fact that my opponent doesn't have anything that can really abuse Trick Room. Shadow Ball actually coming out from this Porygon. Very interesting. So once I get rid of Arcanine, my team does really well against my opponent's team. I think I just want to double up the Arcanine. It could protect. I honestly don't think it will, because the double into Porygon 2 is pretty, like, it's a play I can make. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna hope that this Thunder, oh shoot, that's fast. Oh, but he targets Pikachu. Okay, that means you're gonna take recoil? Oh, crit. Well, crit shouldn't matter at all. It's Pikachu, for crying out loud. But I'm hoping that the Shadow Claw will at least be able to knock out the Arcanine. At +1? Yes. Oh, crit. I don't think that mattered because that's a fast Arcanine. That's Jolly. I don't think you're bulky. So Shadow Ball is going to come out into the Mimikyu. We should be able to live. Yeah, Mimikyu easily is able to live. Ooh. Katana will come out here. Ninetales is going to be super annoying if it's in the back, though. Gastro. Okay, that's fine. So we have Kartana out, and the Arcanine's gone, and this Kartana is about to do some work. So I'm not really worried about the Gastrodon here. I'm more worried about the Porygon 2. So Sacred Sword into Twinkle Tackle should be able to pick up the knockout. So I think I am going to go for that. I could go for my Z move with Kartana, but I don't think that's exactly worth it. Yeah, I'm just going to double up the Porygon 2. The problem is Ninetales could be a really big threat. The Ninetales can definitely be a big threat. But I think this Kartana does have special defense investment, as we are going to see the Kartana actually withdraw into that Ninetales. So not a bad read for my opponent. Going to get the Hail up, but I don't think this is the worst case scenario here. As we are going to get a knockout. I would have loved to break that Focus Sash on Ninetales though. That would have been great. As we are going to go for that Z move. It is going to be a Twinkle Tackle. It is +1 though. I am hoping he's able to knock out the Porygon 2. Otherwise, this can be a very terrible position for me. But, well, the Sacred Sword usually does half. This is +1. I'm actually very scared now. Mimikyu, I believe. Send it to the stars. Alright. Alright, we're back in this. So, we didn't see a Protect. I don't know if my opponent directly hard switched the Ninetales just to get that Sash. But this isn't the worst case scenario here. The problem is, I'm not exactly confident of how well Cortana can take the Blizzard. I don't think this... I think Gastrodon revealed Protect once. Gastrodon is going to come out. You're definitely not going for Aurora Veil. You're definitely going for Blizzard here. I feel like Mimikyu will barely live the Blizzard and can then go for the hail damage. Will knock out the Mimikyu. So, the position, you can't protect Ninetales. You absolutely can't protect Ninetales. You need to attack here. So, what I'm going to do is go for the Shadow Claw, bring Ninetales to his Focus Sash, have Mimikyu go down to the hail, and then bring in Pelipper. And then Blizzard's only a little bit accurate anyway. So, Blizzard's going to come out. Mimikyu, I need you to survive now. Oh, wait, we have Wide Guard on Pelipper. That's also an option. And unfortunately, Mimikyu doesn't survive, which kind of stinks for me. Ice Beam going to come out into the Cortana. Oh, I think this was... Wasn't this Toxic Gastrodon? I think it was Toxic Gastrodon. Wait, why am I asking you people? You guys weren't there for it. Alright, going to Pelipper. This is going to be a very tough game. I don't know if we can live. The Freeze Dry. If it is Freeze Dry on Ninetales, it might not be. Although I kind of suspect it, to be honest, but you don't really have a problem with Gyarados. You might have like Icy Wind or something. If that's the case, I think we win automatically, but I need to get rid of Gastrodon. I'm going to Wide Guard here. Basically, the turn comes down to if one, Gastrodon has Protect, and two, if the Ninetales is able to knock me out with a move on Cortana. We do win a speed tie, very fortunate. Leaf Blade is going to connect with the Gastrodon here, and is able to pick up the knockout, so Gastrodon does go down. And now comes down to this Ninetales. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Freeze Dry. Okay, good play. Targets the Cortana. Oh, we ate that up, actually. We ate that up. Alright, we're going for Smart Strike. He's not... I don't think my opponent Blizzards here. I mean, you could Blizzard, to be honest, anticipating me to being forced to attack the Ninetales, but I feel like it's just better to go for the attacks here. Hope we win a speed tie, go for the Hurricane. Oh no. I should have Wide Guarded. I knew I should have Wide Guarded. Alright, we need this Hurricane to confuse, and we need the Ninetales to hit itself in the following turn. Oh man. Are we losing to your evolution again, or is this confusion going to pull us back into the game? Let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out. Why would you Protect? I don't agree with the Protect. Are you trying to stall out Rain? There's too many turns left, and now I have another... Like, you had to go for Freeze right there. Now you have another chance to hit yourself in confusion. Nice. I told you. I told you. We weren't going to lose twice to your evolution. I told you. But to be honest, I do think that's my opponent's fault. I do believe that the Protect was just a very bad play for my opponent, because I feel like you just go for the Freeze Dry. If you get that 50% right, well, if you get to that 30% chance, I think, Confusion, I believe, did change to 30%. Am I correct? I don't know, but to be honest, you were asking for it. First, you had to go not hit yourself, and then you go for Protect, and then you risk the chance for hitting yourself again. And it's like, what are you doing? You're throwing away the game. You're better off going for the Freeze Dry. Like, if my opponent just went for Freeze Dry the turn that he or she did get the Protect, you won the game. So I don't feel bad at all. Because Pokemon is a game about odds sometimes, and my opponent didn't make the best play that put the odds in his or her favor. Anyway, I hope that everyone enjoyed today's episode. We do take 3 wins with this team. I'm pretty sure the next episode is the last one. I gotta double check. Or maybe it's 2 more with this team. I don't know. I'll check again, but all I know is I'm in the process of making the new team for VGC Baek Battles, another original team. Hope everyone will be looking forward to it. As always, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as check out the social medias of mine down below in the description. Twitch, Patreon, there's Twitter, of course, Instagram. I don't know, just follow me on my social medias. There's always the fact, if you have a question, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Check out the previous episodes, as there's a playlist down below. And if you want to try out the team, down in the description as well. Otherwise, I will see you around in another video.